Hi, this is Mr. Bew. I want to go through today's lesson. Today we're going to look at maritime chart, what the colours mean on the chart, what the depths are, contours, and why do we have buoys. So that's our learning outcome for this lesson. So we're going to use this sheet and we're going to use Navionics web app. If you get a chance to have a look at that, if you click on this link here, it will go through to Navionics web app and it will go through and it will look something like this. And the chart we're going to use today will be further down the Thames from here. So we've got the school here. So if we work our way further down the River Thames, past Gravesend, Tilbury, into the Thames estuary. So this is the River Thames, and we've got the River Medway here. The chart that I've given you on your worksheet is the River Medway as it comes out into the Thames estuary. So we can zoom in and out with the plus and the minus, and this is the chart that we have. So let's go back to the sheet and have a look at it. So the question is, what is a marine chart? So a marine chart is a sea map designed to help mariners navigate the seaways safely. So you've looked at maps in geography, you've looked at Alton survey maps, and it's got contours and heights and symbols on it. A sea map is a specialist map called a chart that we use to navigate on the seaway. So I've given you an excerpt of the chart here of Sheerness, so you can look at it here or you can look at it on your Navionics web app. So the questions we've asked are: areas of the charts are yellow, green, blue and white. And the question is, what's the meaning of that? So let's have a look at the Navionics. So here's our chart. The yellow is the land, and it's always the land. The green is sometimes land and sometimes water. So like on your Alton survey, where they put the edge of the water near the land, they have to choose a position. So they choose a position when the tide is out a long way. So sometimes this green here can be land when the tide's out, that's showing on the chart. When the tide comes in, it can be water. So it say can be land, can be water. So the chart shows it at a very low tide, and these little numbers here show how much the land is sticking up, and it's in meters. So that'll be 1.1, shows it sticking up, it's got a line underneath. So simply, yellow is always land, green is sometimes land, sometimes water. The rest is always water, and the colours determine how much water there is. So it's shallow here, gets deeper and deeper and deeper. So the shallow will be the dark blue, and on this chart the deepest will be the white. If you want to know exactly how deep it is, you can zoom in with a plus and you will see the depths, and we can zoom in on the plus and it will give you more detail of the depths. On these charts, if you want super detail, you can click on this button here and it says sonar chart. It will give you in lots of detail. Unfortunately, when we're navigating, this really gets in the way and clutters our chart up, so we just use the normal detail. But if you're interested in fishing, you want to know lumps in the water, it's a really good feature. Okay, let's go back to the question because I'm going slightly off piste here with my Navionics chart. Okay, back to the question. So, yellow, green, blue, white, pop the meaning in these boxes. If you don't, just rewind this video and the answers will be there, and then double check that against your Navionics web app. Well done. Let's crack on. So I've taken this small part of a chart from the beginning of the Medway, which is this part here. Okay, so as we come in, if I zoom out a little bit, we can see this is all white coming in here, and what they've done, they've dug it out, they've dredged it. It says this channel here is called Yantler, is dredged to 14 meters, so that's why it looks very boxy. And if we look here and here, we can see a red, we can see a green, we can see a red, we can see green. The section I've given you in your work will be a red and a green, a red and a green. Now let's go back, see what the question is. Here we go. Red and a green, red and a green. What are the red and green marks on the chart above, taken from your main chart? So what do you think they're for? Back to Navionics, and we can see it goes up here, up this channel, and it goes along here on this channel. So when you go into a channel, you leave the reds on the left, greens on the right. So pop in that box what you think they're for. And why are they there? Why do you think they're there? So pop in that box. Why do you think these buoys are here on the water and also represented on your chart? A little bit closer to school, and this part of the chart shows London Bridge. So we're looking at the numbers in the blue section, and we need to answer the question below. So if I go back to Navionics, I'll show you exactly where that is. So if we zoom out, we'll see, whoop, internet connection's a little bit slow. So here's the Thames estuary. We're going to zoom out and we're going to go to our right, which is to the west. Here we go. And we've got London, and we'll zoom in, put London in the middle. We'll zoom into the middle and we'll find London Bridge. Here we go. First bridge in is Tower Bridge, up the river, and our next bridge will be London Bridge. And these heights are written above a very low tide. So you'll see here it's only 1.9 meters at a very low tide. Here 1.7 meters. Okay, so let's go back to the question. Look closely at the numbers. What do you think they mean? So it's asking, what do you think these numbers mean on the chart? So write your answer in there. And the question there is, why is it shallow around London Bridge? Okay, that may not be obvious to you. You may remember the song London Bridge is Burning Down, and the old London Bridge with loads of houses on it and narrow arches. Well, they took that down, and a lot of the rubble they left in the river. So this shallow bit here is rubble left from the original London Bridge. I think I've given you the answer there. That's why it's shallow around London Bridge. The next question is, what does draft mean? That's a bit of a tricky question, so I'm going to give you the answer. Draft means how much water a boat needs to float. So we've done stability and buoyancy. We've talked about that. So we're asking, what does draft mean? So draft means the amount of water the boat needs to float. So we look at London Bridge. Why is that tricky for a boat that needs a lot of water to float? Okay, so we look at this area. We've already established that it's shallow. So why is London Bridge tricky for a boat that needs lots of water to float? So pop your answer in there. So why is London Bridge a tricky bridge for a deep draft boat? So a boat that needs a lot of water to float, why is it tricky to go under there? So pop it in your own answers. So extra information. If you enjoy this, there's a video here on charts, and if you click through here, it will take you through to Navionics web app. So I've made a video on how to use Navionics web app. It's a really good charting software. It's absolutely free, and it goes through how to do that and how to tie up with Google Earth. So if you want something to stretch you, a bit more fun to look at, have a look at that video. Please fill in these answers. And don't send it in until you've completely done it. Okay, because I don't want to bounce this backwards and forwards. I'd like you to have a go, do this, pop it back, and I'll mark it for you. So thank you very much for listening to the video. Thanks very much for logging into the lesson. I hope you enjoy it. I'm trying to make some of your lessons as enjoyable as possible, and I look forward to seeing you in class. Okay, look guys, thanks very much. Cheers, bye.